Brides in the Hills 30. Chinama was born with all the beauty of her mother, but because she was not conscious of noticing it, and because of the culture-poor country that surrounded her, she was like a wild forest, dirty, dirt, and tarnished like a gold bar. Her grandmother took her to her house for a while and took care of her. Simbala, who was coming down 3 times, took care of Surukutan with medicine. She had made her stomach, which was bloated and throbbing with chilly fever, covered her belly with a dish, and had cleaned the distimini sari, which was sticky with saliva and smelly from drinking milk to the mud that was rolling around. She also wore the clothes of poverty that corresponded to the taste of the time. On the other hand, after hearing the news that Venkatana, who had tried and failed to get another marriage, had started hunting in the houses of Gattadatagi, she brought Chinama along with her and settled her in her valley with the intention of making his house upright even though it was for the sake of her granddaughter. Chinama grew up healthy under the care of her grandmother. But like the other village girls around her, Naya was far from cute and rough. Her workload ranged from helping her grandmother in the housework to taking the cattle out of the barn and grazing them on the hillocks in the Hakulu plains. There was an Iga math in the house of Konor, which is within a couple of miles of Huvali, and a few children of the village near Halamain Betali were learning to read, but no one agreed to teach girls to read and write, which was rare, impossible and very rare for boys. Women learning to read was even more ridiculous than men wearing saris. Once a boy from Konor, Mukundaya, said to Vankshamava, "Let us write a gold cactus for our house," in the context of some conversation. He teased that. Chinama's grandmother took her granddaughter and left her home to settle in Huvali. Among the newcomers who came there, Kajanahali Amma of Konor, Dana Mahegadati, went to Huvali with her youngest son Mukundayanaya, a 10-year-old boy, to talk to them as per the tradition of bonding. The 6-year-old girl called Chinama and made her sit close, took the kobari bellies she had brought from her lap, pointed to her son beside her and asked, "Who is it today? Tell me, Nodana." At that time, the girl looked at her innocently with innocent smiles, then gradually opened her mouth and smiled as if she had caught a mark, and finally smiled and bowed her head, they, as if she had heard or not heard. She said, "You mean they? I just asked who they are." Kaganahali Apu said, "They are." Then Chinama's grandmother laughed and said, "Oh, child, you can do it without getting angry. What does he mean? Amva your brother-in-law." 31 will continue.